Everyone basically got the other sheet, right? The pretty extensive one. We're gonna go in here. I didn't make a copy. The first cardinal sin. Let me do it right now. Make a copy. And we're gonna do the same. We're gonna do the same deal essentially. Copy, make a copy. And I think it was, what was our address again? Our address. No, this isn't even it. Was like 481
148.
Curtis.
148
148,
Curtis.
148 Curtis. Shkoyach. Um, so we're just gonna call it 148 Curtis. Cash flow analysis. That's why they call the sheet. Why not? Analysis. How do you spell analysis? Whatever. When you guys can edit it. 148 Curtis Street, New Britain. Okay. Let me grab that other sheet real quick. We'll just punch in the expenses. We'll call the use for class. Use for class. Is it going to come up like that? No. So let me get in here. Go to Google Sheets. Go to Sheets. Copied. Using for class. Okay. Side by side. Okay. So scenario A, I'm just going to change it to current. Number of units, we have 6. This is the monthly income. So our average right now was what? Our average was it 900? Yeah, it was 900. Right? Vacancy, you want to add your vacancy. Let's say we do a 5%. Any other income, you don't really have any parking income or anything. So this is your gross management fees. See, it's a lot more customizable over here. You know, they're not like, it's not as built in. So I'm just gonna go equals this times 0.06 if we're doing 6% or whatever. To change it. Repairs and maintenance. What do we have over here? So I won't even really look at this. I mean, you know, you'll want to definitely take their expenses a bit, like the taxes and whatnot. But repairs and maintenance, we're going to assume, let's say it's, you know, they're budgeting 5%. So we'll go this times 0.05. Sorry. Real estate taxes, we know it's 6843. 6843. 1 second. This is monthly. Right. This is monthly. Okay, so I'd have to go equals 6843 divided by 12. So I'm monthly right now. Property insurance, we had over here at 36. So let me just go over here.
Repairs and maintenance, 256 a month. That's high, no?
I don't think it's high at all.
Oh,
But
repairs. Oh, up. So yeah, you're right. Right.
I think that's probably pretty low.
Right.
What's going on over here? 1 second. Let me just get rid of that. Put that guy back to normal. Rental property insurance. So we're gonna go equals 3,600 divided by 12. Lovely, 300. Homeowners property. So these are here. The HOA. You could get rid of it if you want. Doesn't really matter. The sheet's just a little more relaxed. You see these little arrows over here? It's going to give you, you know, just some more stuff to stick in there. You can do what you want. Get rid of it. We didn't really speak a lot about utilities. We spoke a bit about water, sewer, but our last building didn't really have you paying the oil or gas for the building. A lot of buildings, especially bigger buildings, they'll have, unless they have electric heat, it's going to be like oftentimes it's one big furnace or boiler for the whole property. What's the difference between a boiler and a furnace? Which one's which?
Boilers for hot water, furnaces for heat.
What do you mean it's for hot water? That's a water heater. It's a hot water heater.
Boy, oh, whoops. What? Oh
You know, you
shit.
replace the boiler. They both make heat in the house. A boiler is hot water running through the pipes. You know, so either it's running through the baseboard or it's running through the the radiators. It's heating. It's boiling the water that's running through the house. So that's boiling. A furnace is like hot air. You know, like the hot air. So it's a furnace. It's like a fire, and the air goes through. You have a fan, and it heats the air, and then it pushes that out. That's the difference between a boiler and a
What's more
furnace.
efficient?
I don't know. I don't know.
Boiler
Good question.
probably.
I don't.
We
I don't
don't
know. I have no. I don't. You know. I don't. I wouldn't even say that. I think radiators are very efficient. They take a long time to get the place going, but it's like a train. Like once it starts, like the house is heated, the building's heated.
Because it holds it.
Yeah, probably. You're not
Yeah, fourth
constantly heating
year, it
it.
just comes and goes.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't. I haven't. I have a few houses that have. I have 3 houses in Estonia. They have furnaces, but I'm not really paying those bills. Well, one of them I am. It's pretty expensive, so maybe not. Okay, back to here. Yeah, let's finish this guy. Water sewer. We said it was 3,000. So bang, my water sewer equals 3,000 divided by 12, 250. I'm not really paying anything else. Here's a maintenance management fee. We put the management fee in here. Yeah. Okay. Pest control. You gotta always stick in pest control. Like I said last time, it was like $900. You know, it was like 150 for every 2 months or every 3 months. So let's just do 150 divided by 3. $50 a month for that. Accounting and legal. You will have accounting and legal. At the end of the year, you have to file your taxes. It's going to cost you money. Then advertising. But for now, we'll just leave it as this. Okay. Very simple. You have the deal. You have your expenses. Your monthly expenses are boom. Your annual NOI, annual income, not NOI, sorry, your annual income is 61, right? 51 times 12. Your annual operating expense are 21. Your NOI is 40. Based on an 8 cap, your property is worth 501 starting. That's not bad at all. Your actual capitalization rate. Okay, so now it's weird here. Like the price is down here for some reason. Actual purchase price, sorry, is right here. So what were you paying? We were paying 415. You know, we really should get this to the top. I don't want to do it like this. This is just this sheet. You guys could check out this website. They have a ton of sheets, like just different financial sheets. It's Vertex. I'll leave it here so you guys could go through it. But it's very customizable. Just stick it to the top if you want to have the price up there. So you're starting at a 9.67. That was really her expenses before we got involved with our expenses. But whatever, you know, for the sake of the argument, we'll just leave it as it is. It wasn't my version. I did it under the marketing package. Okay, down payment. I like to do equals this times 25 times, yeah, 25. What did I do wrong there? Equals this times 0.25? 0.25, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, so now your loan amount is this minus, right? It's the purchase price minus this. It does it automatically. Closing cost, let's say we said it was 22,000. Your mortgage amortization is 30 years. Your rate, we said, is, let's say, a 6. This tells you the deal very nicely, very clean. You know, it's all here. Your monthly cash flow based on these expenses, right? We didn't really get into the expenses too much, but like really should. We should do my version. All right, we can do my version. Whatever. Let me see. So 36, we said it was really 5,000. Let's make it 5,000. 1,800 was for contract services. They don't really have contract services, but like you're not using cable and internet, you know, just go contract services. Contract services. Whatever. We're not going to waste too much more time on this guy. Do equals 1,800 divided by 12. It's a sure and easier way to do it. Like we could just have it all set up, not by monthly, like make it yearly and just do the yearly and then just change this guy here to times 12 instead of whatever. But the idea is that this sheet's just a lot more customizable. And then literally what I'd do is I just like take it and just copy it over to B, and then we'll just change the average to 1,300. And that will raise our operating income.
Sorry, Daiji, is
Yeah,
that
Papa.
second column projected?
Yes, sir. Good call.
So I was confused for a second.
Yeah. Projected. And you could say like you could have like 3 stages. You could say like let's say this 6 unit, right? So let's say I'm trying to sell a deal to people, right? I have a 6 unit under contract. I'm trying to flip it to people. I can show you one of my sheets that I spread, that one of my Google Docs I just sent out to people, and you just like, you guys could judge me however you want for it. But the current had 3 vacants and they just weren't full. So I'm going to try to sell my deal missing 3 units. I don't want people to look at my deal and be like, why is there a negative cap? If 3 units, all that they simply need to be done, done to them is just rented. This building has 2 vacants, ready to go, beautiful units. This isn't this example, but what I'd do is I'd be like current, and then I'd do like as is, just fully rented, or I'd just do like fully rented, and then I could do like market rent, right? So I could like momish copy this whole column, and then I could pop one to the side and just add another one. I could do like current fully rented or whatever. Fully rented. Let's go a little bit wider. And then I could do market rent, which is like a way of saying like when you bring it up to the market, market could really be even higher. Market should be 15. But if I filled the other 2 vacants up, because if only 4 are rented and the average rent was 600 in place because only 4 are getting you that, then that sucks. This is what you can do. Whatever suits your fancy. This is just 1 page. So now you have the projected. You have the same thing going on over here. But again, this doesn't really have any construction budget. So I'd like add one below, and I'd do like construction budget. And then let's see, in the last one, I'd add my construction budget here. Let's say, each unit's going to take me, let's say, $7,000 to reno, times 6. So it's, adding 42K. This is now going to be, got to add in whatever, something too crazy. Just, you should have these things. Construction budget. So it would be this plus this, add that. No, not that guy. That guy was already added there. Plus, what happened to it? One second. Enter, go off for a second. Initial investment, right? Okay. So your initial investment would be this plus this. And then it would calculate, your initial investment is now 167,000. What's happening here? Your mortgage payments are the same because, it's not really affecting your mortgage. This is the year annual interest, 18K, and principally only paying off 4K. Monthly cash flow, once you're at this level, if everything's renting at 1,500, these are really expenses, which is going to be higher, whatever, So you're on a cash and 30%. If this is all true, right? If you invested 167.51, this is just a pretty clean, whatever. It's relatively clean. It's all in one sheet. Just says the story. And then over here, I would I'd just get rid of these columns, just delete them, get them out of here. You always want to leave a little note on the bottom. Please verify your own expenses, right? You should always have that down. This is when you're trying to like sell a deal. So that's this sheet, and you guys should have it, just to have, why not? Probably stick a couple pictures in there. Okay, lovely, delicious. We did that. Make this guy full. I wanted to go a bit into, anyone have any questions on this? Like, was that fine?
Yeah.
Why not, right? I want to go a bit into batch leads and just the halal, a little bit about wholesaling. So we said that wholesaling is when you get a contract. Actually, before I do this, let's speak a bit about the documents, different documents. Back to just regular investing. So when you want to put an offer, if you want to look fancy, or it's like a big building, and you want to look professional, you do an LOI. LOI stands for letter of intent. So you could have one over here. This is already populated with a property I had in the past, but you have a PDF editor. You could just edit it and make it your own. So a couple
letter of intent would be before you send in your offer, basically.
this is you sending in your offer. This is like you go view a property, the broker, you'd be like, I'll send you my LOI tonight together with my proof of funds. You'll send them that you have the money for the down payment or for the cash, the cash price if you're offering cash. This is what you send, that they bring a package to the seller. So you send it to the broker. You have the property address here. You have the purchase price. You have the deposit amount, 10,000. Okay. Possession. This is you saying how long you will and how long you'll close. So you're going to edit this 60 days after closing. That's pretty standard. Sometimes sellers will fight back. They'll say, no, it has to be 30 days. Another thing you always want is your inspection period. Remember the fancy word for inspection in real estate is due diligence. So here I have 14 days. And for 14 days, I can back out no matter what. I could say I didn't like the color of the roof. That's inspection period. Now, financing is another contingency that you could have. That means that up until a certain amount of time, this is just an offer over here, but you'd write 45-day financing contingency. That means that within 45 days, you could always show that you didn't get a loan from a bank, and then they'll let you off the hook. They'll give you back your 10K deposit. This is all to get your deposit back. If you want to walk from your deposit, you walk from your deposit, which you don't want to walk from your deposit. Who the hell wants to do that? So let's say you had a 60-day total to close. 14 of those 16 days, it's not an additional. 14 of the 16 days are inspection. And then let's say you wrote 45 of those 60 days would be financing. So you'd write, standard financing, 80% LTV. That means that if you couldn't get approved for 80% loan to value, that means if you got approved for 75%, you can still back out according to this contract, according to this letter of intent. Because it has to be a minimum LTV that you got approved for of 80. If you got approved for 80, then you won't be able to back out with this clause. But you could always find someone to just give you a letter saying that they couldn't lend you, and then if you wanted to back out. So the 45 days is, for all intents and purposes, as good as the 14. Just a little more legal. You have to just have real proof that you tried to get financing and you couldn't. Closing costs, I don't really know why this matters. Traditional distribution, okay, whatever. Please kindly respond within 3 days. You could put in whatever you want over here. You could say, whatever. You could say, I want you to leave the material that you have on site, because the guy could technically take whatever you want. So like I bought a single family and the basement was stocked with material. It had all the kitchen cabinets, had all the appliances. The guy was in the middle of doing the flip and he didn't finish it. So he was like, I'm taking you with me. I'm like, no, but like it said, it comes with all the materials. So I got it. Stand still. Okay. He's not going to, once he gets this, if he signs it, don't do anything else. But this isn't really like a binding agreement. That's what the non-binding is. It's not like a real contract. It's not binding a purchase sale agreement. A lot of people, as their LOI, they'll just send a contract. So LOIs might be obsolete. I don't know. You might not want to do that. or like the broker might want to send their own contract. But if you're sending like a contract to a seller, this is how you'd sell. You wouldn't give him a contract because they'll probably want his professional broker, making their own contract. Also, I haven't ever seen the use of using a buying agent. If you could ever get away without using a buyer's agent, it definitely is another sell point to you because now the seller's agent is going to represent you as well. They're going to keep the full commission. So even though legally, I can tell you legally they have to present all offers, but they'll be biased towards your offer consciously or subconsciously. So they're gonna, it's just another chip in your favor. So I don't use buying agents ever. There's no point in my head. You do this, you know what you're talking about at this point. You have the LOI, you have your proof of funds. That's the LOI. The lease.
What does the proof of funds look like? It's like you gotta send like bank statements.
So yeah, bank statements is great. If you're buying it cash. If you're buying it cash, let's say you're buying a house for 100K cash, show them 100K, they're happy. But if you're getting a loan and you only have 20K, you'll want to have a pre-approval letter from a bank as well. So you'll want to have the proof of funds to
proof of funds is basically pre-approval.
Yeah. No, it's not. You'll have to have both. Like you'll probably want to show them a pre-approval from a bank. That should be enough. If you have a pre-approval from a bank, it means the bank did their own research. Like if you have Wells Fargo or Liberty Bank and you have their proof of funds. So I have a proof of funds. I just edit and send out. If I'm ever making an offer, it's probably not.
What about like if you're getting financing?
Yo, don't tell that to Mr. YouTube.
What
are you saying, Smiley?
What about if you have an investor? So they can send you a proof of funds?
Yeah, definitely.
Not on the same name.
Yeah, but it's honestly it's all just to make the seller feel comfortable,
In that case, I could send them your proof of funds.
Kinda. I've been using Sim's proof of funds for a long time. I mean, it's been a while. I haven't used it, but for all of his stuff, like whenever I was talking with him about anything, I just had Chase Bank gave him a letter, said you have X and Y and Z in your account, and I was just using that and sending it out.
But he was also giving the offer. He was also So
I wouldn't really want to use it without him, but the investor, so the agent could say, whatever. The less questions, the better. Because if it's all in your name, great. If you get it all in your name, awesome. If not, then just have an investor give their proof of funds and just explain that I have an investor in here. They're fine with that.
Right. Also, with the contract, have you ever done like instead of like 45 days, you're at 45 business days?
Interesting. I just write 45 days, and that usually means
then
a lot more time.
Really 65 days.
Yeah, it's a lot more time. I usually just do 45 days, but if you do business days, then legally that means business days. So you'll have more time, which is great. So that's the LOI. Then after the LOI would come the purchase and sale agreement. This is a standard purchase and sale agreement. You can get rid of this. Take them all out. Once you download it, you'll be able to edit it. This has worked just fine for any deal. You'll have, again, over here, you'll have the seller's name. You want his address, his mailing address. You'll want your name, either your name or your entity's name. You could say, Sherlock Muchkin Realty LLC, and then your address, wherever address, that is under. Then you want the property address, the town described as. If it's a 2-family, I'll write 2-family home. That's just how I interpreted that. I don't think it really matters. Purchase price, you'll write over here the total. You'll write the deposits, right? So here it's a simple 5K deposit. If he accepts, once the seller signs, you give him 5K. Then the other remaining 65K will be at closing for a total of 70K, right? 65 plus 5 is 70. That'll be this. You want to initial every page. You want to get the seller to initial every page. You're going to write it on page 104, and each one's right, what number it is of that number. The financing contingency. So remember we spoke about that. You're going to write all the different stuff, if you're not doing a financing contingency, because putting that in really is hard. It's, nowadays, like if you're trying to get a competitive house, let's say in Beaver Hills, a house comes on the market, you're going to write no financing contingencies, or you're going to write NA, non-applicable. But if you wanted to put one in, then you would put in, how much the minimum the bank has to approve you for. If they approve you anything less than 300K, then you can pull out according to this contract. The term, if they gave you 20 years instead of 30 years, you can pull out. Commitment date, if they couldn't commit at a certain time. Sorry, I think commitment date means it either means when the bank wanted to close, or it means like if the bank doesn't get you this thing within 45 days. Yeah, I think that's what it is. If it doesn't get you, yeah, that's what it is. Commitment date. If they can't get you the commitment within 45 days, then you could pull up to 45 days. But past 45 days, if you don't pull, then you forfeit your deposit if you can't close after that. So it'd be protected for the thing here. You could also just write a date, but I always like doing days, just days from signing, because you're going to negotiate back and forth. It's going to take you 3 days to sign. This is just anything else. Okay. Inspection. How many days do you have? 14 days from closing. Blah, blah, blah. You'll notify them then. If you waive the right to do lead paint. Oh no, this is if you waive the right to do the whole thing. This is the lead paint. Okay. This is the closing date. So 10 days from executed contract. I wonder if Paris actually closed 10 days from signing. You'll do 45, you'll do 60, you'll do 30 days. So what I usually do, like by financing, I'll write cash/hard money, which is like cash/ I could get a loan if I wanted to. You can't, if I start getting a loan, you can't just back out of me. I did tell you about a loan, but hard money sounds like it's gonna be quick, and I do 30 days. And if it takes 45 days, you're fine. Like no one's pulling out. They could technically pull, but if you have a 5K, or 1 to 5K deposit, you're not too worried. Yeah. Now this is a big thing over here. This is the listing broker. I do NA, not applicable if you're not having one. If you don't have this is if you're wholesaling and you're finding the deal yourself. There's no listing broker. You found it. So I'll just write NA or whatever. If there's a broker, write the broker. Okay. Here, no assignment binding effect. This agreement may not be assigned by either party without the written consent of the other, but shall be binding upon the heirs, executors, administrators, and successors of the parties hereto. I just edit this and I do assignment binding effect. This assignment may be assigned by either party without the written consent of the other, and shall be binding upon and now all of a sudden this contract is an assignable contract. That means that if it's in your name, I can now assign it to Gerv. I can assign it to Dave. I can assign it to whoever I want. And now Dave can close the contract. So it's not so sus doing it. So people they'll sign it without even looking at that. Like who looks at that little thing, that assignment, that's, the signability of it. Or like, it's not so suspect, even if you do put it in, it doesn't mean you're going to flip it to somebody. It could be like, I put it in my name and I have a different LLC and I'm creating an LLC and I'm going to put in that. So I want it, I could assign it to my other LLC. That's what you could always explain. That's as far as
I got a question on that.
Yeah, talk to me.
When you do that and you assign it, and let's say you got it, for example, it's a 70K and you can wholesale it for 100K. That difference of 30,000, is that like a separate agreement, separate to this document?
Yeah, that's this document.
Got it. So as far as the original owner is concerned, he's going to see the original, the original cost and everything like that.
Yeah.
Nothing changes on that document.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my question. It's like all of a sudden, if like a new contract comes in, and it's like,
so it kind of
you just sold
will
it to you
eventually,
for 70,
yeah.
and then he sees it for 100. That would piss most people off, in my opinion. I don't know.
That is annoying. First of all, there's nothing they could do. They're in contract.
Yeah.
That's just first of all. Second of all, they don't necessarily have to find out. The lawyers will find out at some point. So what you'll do is, once you get the property under contract and you're assigning it, you're just going to connect their lawyers. You don't even have your own lawyer. You don't pay anything. You're going to connect their lawyers. You're going to say, hey, Mrs. Seller, who's your lawyer? And you're going to connect Mrs. Seller's lawyer with this person who you just found to buy your deal with their lawyer, and they're going to start dealing as if it's a regular deal. And when it comes time to the final packaging, they're just going to have their original sales contract and they're going to show that's assignable. So they don't, it doesn't matter to them. And the HUD, so a HUD is the final breakdown of a closing. The final breakdown of a closing is called a HUD. This is a HUD. Either your assignment, either your 30K will be on the HUD or it won't. Like, this is now between you and the buyer. You could put it on the HUD if you want it maybe a little safer, a little more official. They want to document it, or if they want for their own documentation purposes, they want it on the HUD so they could prove as it's a tax write-off that they had to pay a commission. But so on the HUD, the seller will probably see it at some point and they won't even think anything of it, or they will, but it's too late at that point, and they just want to close. They're literally sitting at the closing table. They're not like, they might be like ifed out for a second and send you a nasty text, but I think that's it. This contract sales price, I had it all here. So this one I found this off market, and I did it to myself, but this is a good breakdown of all the expenses that's happening here. So this will either be the 30K, your assignment fee will either be on the HUD or it won't. Doesn't really matter. Fact is that the buyer is now on the hook to you for 30K. And usually they'll pay it, or you come after them for 30K. It's probably worth it to go after them. But most of these people are like legit buyers and they've bought before, and they're not going to really F around with that. Like they know that they're paying an assignment fee. The one thing is that if you're buying it with a bank, if your buyer is not buying it cash, if he's buying it with a bank, the bank's not really going to finance that 30K. So they're not looking at it as a 100K deal and they're financing 25% of that. They're looking at it as a 70K deal and they're financing that. I haven't seen a lender yet that finances assignment fees. So really you want to make sure that the person's buying a cash. If you have a cash buyer, it doesn't matter. He's paying 100K, he's paying 100K. That's why you really want to find cash buyers if you're doing wholesaling. And if not, then he'll just, he'll have to come up with the fee out of pocket. He'll have to do his down payment of 25% plus the 30K to you. So he's going to have to know that at some point. That's the PNS assignment agreement real quick. We'll just go through it. It's a little hard to see. I can send a different one that has like somebody else's name, so you just know to change it. But in the gross amount of, this is what your new amount will be. This will say the 100, which amount shall include the original purchase price, right? So this 100 is the person you're signing it to doesn't even know what you got it for originally. It won't say 70K. It'll say 100, which is the initial plus your assignment fee. And it'll say you, the signer is you, hereby signs to GERV LLC. And this is a purchase and sale agreement between East Rock Mushkin as the seller and me as the buyer. In consideration of this amount, a signer shall deposit with me. It will say my name, a non-refundable deposit of 5K. So I'll make sure that if I am now assigning it to someone, if I'm assigning it to GERV will not give me a deposit to make up for the deposit I gave to the seller. Talk about that for a bit. We don't have much time left, but I'm happy to hang out. If anyone wants to hang out, we could go about basics.
When do you send it? When do you send in this assignment? At what point?
So once you have a buyer, if you have the property under contract already, and then I market it out. So you go on Facebook groups or you build a buyer's list, and I can tell you, how to build a buyer's list, or you can YouTube how to build a buyer's list. But essentially, you find a whole bunch of buyers, and once you have somebody who saw it, they toured the property, and they're ready to go, you send them this assignment of contract. And now they take the initial purchase and sale agreement, the PNS, and they're going to bring it to their lawyer, and their lawyer is going to start, closing it for them. So you get it under contract, you get yourself a buyer, send this to the buyer. Now, when you have a contract, if you have a $5,000 deposit, usually you have like 3, 4, 5 days to send them the deposit. So what you want to do is right away, you want to hit the ground, market the crap out of this thing to your people get a buyer once he gives you the deposit. Once the buyer who you're assigning it to, the assignee, once he has this contract and he gives you his deposit, you're now going to use that deposit to pay the seller the initial deposit. So you're not out of pocket anything, because wholesaling really shouldn't have any risk. Think about it. If you paid 5K to the seller up front, day one, you couldn't get a buyer, and 10 days pass and your inspection contingency expires, you're losing that 10K. So you really want to, try to negotiate a really low deposit, then get.
It gets hard with the wholesaling when people don't realize you're trying to wholesale it, and then they see that you upped it by 30, you made 30K off their property, they get a little butthurt.
So Naftali was asking this. He was saying that it's like iffy, but first of all, they don't see that till the very end, if they see it at all.
No,
There-
I mean I had a flip of a good 20K once, and it was like I had to I'm coming to inspect the new buyer. I had to come. I always want to see the property again. Thank God it was vacant. But if it's full,
Yeah. Yeah.
coming back again and again with all these faces. Oh, I
Yeah.
need to come back with like this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the more I say it out loud, the more scummyish it sounds, but it doesn't
No,
have
it's
to
not
be that
scum.
way.
It's business, but the seller doesn't want to deal with you. They just want a fucking guy that's gonna come in, pay
Yeah.
them the money.
So hopefully you don't have to do it 100 times. Hopefully,
Right.
whatever, but throughout the time of your contract, you can make up 3, 4, 5 excuses to get people in. And most buyers don't need to see every unit. And let me just show you this real quick. Okay, this is the, I'll send you a different one that has all these things you have to change, but this is now the assignment agreement. My drive, wholesaling. Mine, Mathewson. This is like a drive that I sent out. No, not this one. It was on sheer drives. Where is it? 9 Mathewson. So this is a drive I sent out to people, right? It has all the
You get
photos
it?
here. What?
You got the flip?
It's hopefully closing next week. We'll see what happens.
Amen.
Amen, brother. These are all the pictures. It's a 6 unit, 2 vacants, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Video walkthroughs, good videos. This is the kicker, bro. This is the cool part. I got this guy to come and do, of every unit, he did a 3D walkthrough.
Nice. These are the best.
So hopefully now I won't need to get too many people inside. If you have a real cash buyer, like, what does he want to see here already? Like, he knows this place is a shithole. Like, not a shithole. He knows that he's paying 50K for it, a door. He knows that this is a decent size 1 bedroom. And he just has to paint the cabinets, and the flooring looks fine. It's a 2 bedroom. This, you can really see whatever you need. So I get people into 2, 3 of these units, and then the rest.
Wow, this one you put money in, huh?
Why?
A guy like this costs what, 300?
A guy like this costs $400, $500. I'm giving him a percentage of the assignment fee if it closes. That's what I'm doing with this guy. So I don't have to drive out there anymore. Like, if I don't want to go somewhere, he could technically, because half your day could be spent of driving to houses. You have a guy like this. Yeesh. You have a guy like this. He,
Oh my God.
Yeah. But listen, they're paying right now $900, or when they move out, what will it cost me to renovate this? People say it's going to cost you 20 grand. That's bullshit.
No, not that much. No, it's not that much.
Bunch of half people. It'll cost you 6, 7 grand.
Question.
Yeah.
IG, do you ever look for deals on the same groups that you post on?
For sure.
Like these Facebook groups and whatever?
Hell yeah.
Buyers lists? How do we get you gonna send us a list of those, or what's up?
So just
He doesn't want you to be on the same group.
no, what are you talking about? I
I'll
I want you guys to do everything. Like, I'm saying, whatever you could do, you should do. Like, let's see, I have a Facebook specifically for like real estate and whatnot, and I don't have any friends from Crown Heights. But recently, the algorithm realized that I'm from Crown Heights, and I got 1,000 friend requests from all my other friends from my other account, and I just had to decline.
What's the name of your account? I
It's
will
just
not
Ben
flip this
Ledge.
deal last name, Deitch.
Yeah, it's literally the same name. But you see, these are all the groups I'm on. Connecticut Real Estate, investors page, Connecticut Real Estate. There are a million groups, and there's thousands of people in these groups. Let's say this one. Anyone selling 1 to 4 properties, whatever. I got an 11 unit on one of these groups. Look at this. New Haven, starting price 240. It's a single family though. But I just saw someone post a 2-family for 140 on here.
That's a good one.
That's a great one in New Haven.
I love that.
Yeah. I really like
What
these
happened? You
groups.
take it?
I messaged the person, can you give me the details on this? And they never really got back to me. Any cash buyer interested in a 3-family in Torrington, 10 occupied only is. So like
Fuck Torrington.
Torrington's not bad. Anyways, yeah, that's that.
One more question.
Yeah, hit me.
When you're looking through a new area, right? Say I was exploring a new area on, Redfin and Zillow vibes. How do you determine which areas are like good? Do you go to crime rate? How do you determine, the valuation? In other words,
You
I
have
can
to
look at
comp it.
comparative pricing.
Yeah, you have to comp it.
online.
Look at comps like a rents.
Sold.
What was that? Say it again.
You look at comps like houses that sold, or do you look at houses that are listed? Also, where can I find like recent rentals? Like I can find recent sold on Zillow. Can you also find recent rentals on Zillow in an area?
There's Zillow Rent Manager, which actually does have that. Zillow Rent Manager is called.
Is that more expensive?
No, I think it's free. How much should I charge for rent? So let's say you do.
One thing I have to say about Zillow pricing, it is not accurate at all.
Not accurate. It's very ambitious.
Accurate. It will tell me a lot of times to list something for $1,000 less than what I'm getting.
Wow.
And then occasionally
Occasionally
the opposite. It will tell me to post something for a lot higher, and I'm not able to get those numbers. It's really not accurate. If you have to be like on the ground or know someone on the ground to really verify.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go off just Zillow pricing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
agree.
you go as a renter. The way you go look at the rental, imagine you type in rent in Dallas, Texas. And you make it 30.
Facebook is great also for that, yo. Facebook is great. You type in the word Griswold on any of these groups, it will come in, it'll tell you all the shit, all the dirt about it. You could ask people, you have 30 people responding to you. I really like Facebook. Listen, this is just what I do right now. But first of all, to your point, Tella, do you see all these gray ones?
Yeah,
all these grays are rented, are past listings, I believe.
Yeah.
So Zillow Rent Manager is pretty cool for that. So back to here, so I gave out this very clean sheet to people. I sent it to my buyer's sheet. Very good, clear photos, very good, clear videos if they want to feel like that. And then also the walkthroughs and a very clear explanation of each one. And then I use this sheet, this, 2 things, filling vacancies, right? If you just fill the 2 vacancies or market rent, and then the current rent, I did a little rent roll over here, A, B, C, D, F, G, F. That's how he has it. A 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, vacant. So currently, it's only getting, this 3, 2, 4, 5 currently because there's 2 vacancies. But over here, I didn't want to do it 3, 2, 4, 5 because that would just kill the whole deal. I want it to look good, Right now, it's a 17% cash on cash. Is it actually? Maybe not. It's based on all these, no renovation budget or whatever. But people have to do their own looking as well. It's a 9 cap, and I could get it to the 12 cap. And this is kind of accurate. As far as I thought I had actually a renovation budget of like 30K in here, but this is just where you could use it pretty clean. Real quick.
Yo, that was a really, really good course on all 4 I'm talking about. It was a good class.
Yeah, you learned something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's intimidating with the whole real estate, Chevra, I'm talking to the Zalbachim or the other people, let's say I'm hawking with friends, and if they have no backing in real estate at all, then, you start talking about cap rate and this and that, but, most people here know everything. It's just I guess it's just like shoring it up, like the little details that you didn't know. I hope you gained something, you know?
What?
Yeah.
It was amazing course. I agree. I concur.
Yeah.
What's this batch leads?
I'm happy to hock some more, you know, like this is the banquet, you know, this is the parting banquet. But batch leads, we'll go through it real quick because like everyone's wondering, like, where do you find the sellers? How do you find the people off market? So first of all, Brent Daniels talks about this all the time. All these people talk about it, but we were going through it a bit yesterday. We were just showing that, you know, you get a lot of details about individual people's houses and whatnot, and like it tries to guess the demographic. 355 Norton Street, New Haven. It tries to guess what's going on in your life. Sometimes it doesn't give any info. Boom. This is what my house looked like originally. It's 1,800 square feet. It's a 3-bed, 1-bath. I bought it. They were listing it for 200. Bought it for 185. Thank you for plugging, Dave One Tyler. Comparables. Now this thing has a comparables section, which you can edit it a bit with the filters. You know, the distance and whatnot. It's located within a mile, but they are assuming that my house is worth 282 because they're taking all these houses over here that are similar size, all single family, the same property type. Change that as well if you wanted. And they're going through it. So I'm going to go to the top. Wow, some of these sold for a lot. Sold for 2 million.
The problem with New Haven, every single you go 5 minutes one way, 5 minutes another way.
So yeah, true. So you go over this, let's say, and let's click Beaver Hills. Beaver Hills. Bang, 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 bang. You know? So let's keep it within Beaver Hills, let's say. I don't know if that was talking Beaver Hills. You could scroll in and find out. You need to go on the map and really go the streets.
Yeah, a little bit in Edgewood.
A little bit in Edgewood. Yeah, Edgewood. Yeah, it's true. I wasn't so clean about it.
That's you could say those are similar markets.
Yeah. I don't know what sold here for 2 million, but this is really giving you a nice comps list. You can click it and, you know, it'll tell you what's going on there. But this is just for the individual. So this is a good way to comp a house to see what it's worth. So what I'd always do is I'd take the house, I'd drop it from the top to the most expensive ones. I don't know why these are 2 million. You can try to find out a bit why it went to 2 million for these guys. Did it talk a single family and Shelton Ave sold for no? I don't know. You know, it's probably they bought a part of a portfolio. Who's this, Mandy? Danny guy. Who's this Danny guy?
I'm pretty sure.
Huh?
Pretty sure.
Well, it tells you his address, 399 Whaley Avenue, Suite 103. Like, this seems to be Mandy, I think.
It is.
It is Mandy? Oh, Gerv saying that. Who's vibrating in the background there? The hell is that? Is that me? You're making coffee?
Yep.
Nice. I'm gonna mute you. That's cool though. How does that smell? I'm gonna unmute you. It's funny. But people could dip whenever they need. I'm just gonna go real quick through this batch leads. Why not? So Mandy for sure bought this. Let's say 5 million. They bought it in a whole chunk of property. It's probably a portfolio. That's just this one. So let's say you get rid of these two. The next one sold for 400. You want to really get something in between, like square footage. 1,800. You want to be like around the same. You want to make sure that the lot is around the same. The bedroom should be around the same, either one up, one down. But also you want to look at the thing a little bit and see why it sold for so much. Like just because this guy sold for 400 doesn't mean you're going to sell for 400 if you're in Norton. So you could do this in a random city as well. Don't cross any major streets. Kind of stay in like the same area, be in a similar property size, and then you could kind of you could kind of assume that you're going to be, the same story. So the real beauty of this thing is that you can now build lists. So like, let's say we were going through this a bit yesterday. Let's say New Haven, not even CT, New Haven County. It's the whole New Haven County. I'm going to search the whole New Haven County. Whatever. It's 300,000 properties for the New Haven County. So let's say you wanted to, whatever. You can do whatever you want. I like to go by county. So now I'm going to filter it down. There's some quick filters that you can put in here, high equity. I could talk about that stuff for a bit, but you might want to filter it by a vacant property. If it's vacant, then this could be a pressure point on the seller to make him want to sell. So this could be a bunch of houses that are just overgrown shacks, tons of grass and whatnot, or it could be that it's someone's vacation home and they're going to tell you to F off, but you're dealing with that right now. If I apply this filter, I'm now dealing with 3,000 houses. So if you want to call 3,000 people, it's a lot easier. It's a lot simpler. Also, you're going to scroll through them and you're going to get rid of the ones that, look really fancy. So this is one pressure point that it's vacant. You could do a million of them. You could do MLS status. I want to do off market because if it's on market, then, I'm not really dealing with that. It could be vacant because it's on market, right? If something's on market, they're trying to sell it. So it could be vacant. Pre-foreclosure. This is also a really big pressure point. If a house is in pre-foreclosure, it's not up for foreclosure yet, but they missed a couple of mortgage payments. So they have a pre-foreclosure notice. The problem is it's like low hanging fruit. A lot of people would already have hit them. But let's say we're going to do it anyways. Notice of sale. Just do all of them. All the pre-foreclosure stuff. Apply it. A vacant house is up for pre-foreclosure. And we're dealing now with 31 properties. All right. So I can now select all these guys, select all, and I could add it to a list. And now I could create a new list. I could say New Haven County vacant pre-foreclosure. I could save it. Okay, and they're saving 31 units of my properties. I could now go to properties and I could filter this by New Haven County pre-foreclosures, apply filter. So these are my 31 houses. It's only showing me 15 at a time. Let's go to 100 at a time. These are my 31 houses. Now, you could select all of these people. Select property, select all. Actions, you could skip trace it. The word skip trace means that you will skip trace means you're getting their names, their numbers, their email addresses. Skip trace is like just a fancy word for trying to get all of a person's information. So I have my account is 14 cents a hit. It's not always so accurate, but so I have part of my wallet. Let's do it. 434. Sorry, I have to file name. This file name we're going to call NH pre-foreclosure vacant. Optional. Okay. Skip trace. Success. Go to skip traces. It's processing real quick. These are all lists that I have processed in the past. I did one in Atlanta. I did one for each county. New London, Fairfield. I was going through all these different counties. It's processing. You're going to download it. And now you're going to have, hopefully, some accurate, some not accurate numbers, but you're going to really go through each of these and you're going to call them and you're going to see if they want to sell their property. You're going to
How much
say,
did you say this batch leads thing is?
it's $100 a month.
Hello.
There's two like hyped softwares. One is Batch Leads. The other is PropStream. You guys ever heard of PropStream?
No, never heard of it.
No. So PropStream is very similar. I'd say they're so similar. They basically do the same stuff. This one's a little bit cheaper for me per lead. So I got this one. So now my list is ready. So out of the 31, only 29 were hits, right? So my cost is a little bit less in the end. So I download it, just see what it looks like. New Haven County, pre-foreclosure, vacant, skipped. I'm going to save it to my desktop. Whatever. My computer's a bit of a mess. Now down here, you can open this bad boy. So the way you'll call these people, you can either dial them by hand, but what you'll really want to do is you'll want to get like a software. You'll want to get like a where did it go? I lost that thing. You'll want to get a software that just calls the people for you. So there are these things called auto dialers. I used to use Mojo Dialer. You plug in the sheet, you hit start, and it just calls person after person. You don't even know till it hits. Once it clicks with someone, all of a sudden you will have his whole record pulled up in front of you, and you'll say there's a script. I can send you guys the script as well, but essentially you're saying, hey, is this John? Hey, John, this is Mendel from ... company. I'm out of New Haven. You want to sound like local. You want to sound like friendly. You'll say, I was wondering if I could put an offer on ... We buy it all cash. We do quick closing. You don't have to pay any fees. And you just want to schmooze the person, listen to their stories, whatever. And then they'll say how much. So you could ask them, you could veer off to like start asking them, I'll get you an offer. Can you tell me a bit about the inside of the property? Have you done over the kitchen the last 5 years? Have you done over the bathrooms the last 5 years? How's the roof looking? Nice. And you're also going to have it like you're going to be talking to them while you're talking to them. You could do what we did earlier. So let's try to skip one. Let me see what's going to happen here. So let's say I'm going to properties, and let's go back to that list, that filter. We'll filter it again by that. How many are we down to? Oh, we still have people here. Nice. I don't even know if I'm talking to myself or not. But we have people. So you're going to filter it by, let's say, this list. And let's say this is all New Haven County, remember? So you have all these different, you'll have Waterbury. Half these things are going to be Waterbury. Mark my words. Let's see how many are Waterbury to anywhere else. Out of 31, water, only 2. Never mind. Okay, that's actually pretty good because Waterbury sucks. Let's see New Haven. Okay, so you have a chunk of New Haven. New Havens are gold. These are all in New Haven itself. So let's see. Are they all 1s, 2s? What are they? How to scroll down on this bad boy? See a lot of info. Their mailing address.
And so you'll send out like emails and things like that.
Yeah, emails. I want my juice to be successful. The most success you're gonna have with marketing is with text. Texting people. Text. Go on Text Magic, go on Twilio. And this is just 31. So when it comes to marketing, there's like the numbers game. 10% are going to answer you. If you call 100 people, 10 are going to answer you. How long is it going to take you to call? It's going to take you a long time. Out of these 10, only like 2 or 3 are going to even be remotely interested. Half of them are going to scream at you for even calling them because why are you calling me? With text, you can text 500 people at a time, and then you're going to get back 30, 40 messages. It's going to say F off, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. But then you're going to have 5, 6 that say, make me an offer. What's your offer? What's your offer? And then you could start. What I want to do is right away, I want to get them on a call. I want to get them on the phone right away. Be like, do you have a minute? Can we talk about the interior for a second, just so I can make more of an accurate number? I don't want to waste anyone's time. So, you'll get them on the phone. Once you have them on the phone, it's not a cold call anymore. This is a warm call. It's not a hot call. You know what I mean? Once you have these people on the phone, you try to get them down to their, you try to realize their pressure points, see why they're selling, when they're selling, all these different things.
Well, you look up that property and like see like if they own anything or like
yeah. So it doesn't really matter what they owe, but yeah, as you're doing it, you'll want to get all that info because why not? The more info you have, if you know that they only owe 50 grand and you're offering them 200, you'll know they're likely to accept it. If they owe 200, you can't offer them 150. There's no way they're going to accept it. No one's going to take your offer, and then so it's good to know that. Anyways, let's say I had these Shua Rosenstein. That's interesting. Why is this property vacant? Whatever. We don't have to pry into anyone's business. Let's go on this one for a second. Okay, so like here, you have 56 Hilltop. Officially, it's vacant. Right? Mail vacant. Sorry, mail vacant. The house is officially vacant. And it's up for pre-foreclosure. Right? So this will tell you also the foreclosure and lien information. Notice of list pendants, whatever. That's, he hasn't paid. Lender name. It's the city of New Haven. For some reason, the city of New Haven lent him. 2021. Guy stopped paying. Doesn't really tell you anything. Doesn't have any divorce or anything else. Owner profile. This is very cool as well. If an owner owns a bunch of other properties, under owner profile will have all the properties that he has. It's not always accurate. It's often mostly inaccurate, but so this guy bought it for 50 grand. Right now, they're assuming it's worth 170. Okay. So comparables right away. Let's see why they see 170. This is not so accurate. Why they're seeing 170. So you have the auto filters. You could change them, right? Sold in the last 12 months. You can change it to whatever you want, but let's keep 12 months. Year built, we don't really care about. Amount of bedrooms, we could do one more, one less. This is more or less one. You could do that if you want. Let's go down for a second. So this guy sold for 50. I'm going to right away drag to the top. I'm going to see all these different houses that sold for a lot. And I don't want to be the top. I don't want to be the bottom. I want to be somewhere towards the top. But you see, these are all pretty far away. These are 5 miles away from this guy's house. So 5 miles could be a totally different market. So I want to change that a little bit. I'm going to draw. This is the house we're talking about. I think. Maybe not. No, this is the house we're talking about. The house is pushed in the middle of nowhere. What is this area? Map. Let's go to the map for a second. Amity. Okay. It's right by West Rock.
Yeah.
Nice. But there's not that many other houses that sold. It's a little bit hard to see. Like this guy sold.
This doesn't seem accurate because I know there's a lot of houses that sold in that area.
Yeah.
100%.
But with more or less within our same square footage and size, probably, right?
It's very dense there. That's not accurate. Like if you go to Zillow or something.
Right. Let's go to Zillow. Yeah, you're for sure right. These things for sure aren't so accurate, but like that's why I'm saying it's like a numbers game. You're gonna want to definitely do your own research as well. But
does Zillow show what was sold in the past year? Yeah,
let me pull this guy up and see what Zillow thinks, and I'll try to go around Zillow. But you're gonna do all this. You're gonna want to go on Zillow. You're gonna want to go on this guy. You're gonna want to like cross-verify it a bunch, What's up, bruh?
Okay, so you're gonna look at comparables.
Yeah, so let's see. They think it's worth 176. So what I'd do is let's just go to Zillow for a second. Zoom out. Let's do sold. Done. Let's do remove boundary. We'll draw our own boundary.
No.
Too big?
Way too big. Just do right by West Rock, that little area.
Own little bubble. Cop a bit of Valley Street, and right there, it's its own little universe.
Right.
Yeah, you can't get Westville in it. That's another. Yeah.
Okay, but you can't be too small either. All right, I guess that's a shit ton of houses.
New Haven might not be the best example for this because every few blocks is its own market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is that how much sold in the past year?
This should be the past year, right? This should be sold. This should be within the past year. I mean, I didn't filter it because like a lot of these could be, different stuff.
I'm just saying, this looks a lot more accurate than the one.
Right. But let me see why they're like this. Maybe it's because let me see if it's any of these reasons here. It's a good point.
How long does it have?
Maybe one of these filters are on that they're not liking right now. Like I don't know. Like if I had these same filters on Zillow, you're right. It's probably not so accurate, but if I had the same filters, Bed Bath. What was it? 1, and it was 2 bed.
Sometimes if you have the wrong filter that nobody uses, it can mess it up. Yeah.
Whatever. It's.
Yeah. You just have to be careful. That's it.
Yeah. This is by no you're going to want to give yourself a nice cushion when you're making your offer as well. But right now we're trying to give an offer on this $51,000, the last offer $51,000 house, right? A lot of them are selling for 280. I don't want to be at the 280 mark. You also want to make sure that, you know, you're decently close and whatnot. So like, I'll be around the 250 mark. I'll say I'm going to be around the 250 mark. Let's say, and this is called the ARV. ARV, remember I said last time, ARV was the after appear value. Once it's all done and ready, once I have this place all renovated, what am I going to be able to sell it for? So if I could sell it for 250, now I want to take out my calculator. I want to do 250. You guys can see the calculator. 250 minus 25%, because I want my cut. I want my 25% equals 187 minus whatever repairs I'm going to have to do. So you're going to have to guesstimate right now, because you're just giving like a ballpark. When you see the house, you know, if the guy agrees to your guesstimation offer, your ballpark offer, then you know you're doing well. All right. So let's say 187. Let's just look at the house for a second again. Where was it? 56 Hilltop. Let's go back to 56 Hilltop. Okay, this house, I can't see inside for shit. So you can tell this house probably needs some work. I mean, listen, pretty new windows, you know, you see all that. Also, I notice, I don't know if the whole roof, the whole roof for sure has to be replaced. That's why it has the tarp on it. But what I notice as well is that realtor.com has a lot of
Pictures.
Yeah, realtor.com is really where you want to go for pictures. They'll have old pictures. 56 Hilltop Ave. What was it?
I
Ave?
think they take like screenshots or something of
Hilltop
pictures.
Road. Yeah, let's see. We're just going to Google 56 Hilltop Road, New Haven, CT. We're just going to Google that. We're going to see whatever comes up. Zillow's usually first, Realtor's second. Let's see if Realtor has any more pictures. Especially if it's sold within the past bit. Now, Realtor doesn't either have anything for us. Okay, so you know, you can go back again. You can see, you know, try to just maybe Redfin has for us.
Should I check MLS?
You can probably check the MLS. Oh my gosh, you have MLS access? I miss having MLS access.
We'll talk. No.
Give me your code, bro. Well, I'm not going to schedule any showings. Is this what it looked like before, or are they just tripping? Yeah, they painted it green. Ugly color. It's like much nicer then. I don't know what's older. Let's assume that this is what it is. You know, it's a little more. So, okay, this house, the roof is going to cost me 7. The interior is going to cost me 15. So I'm going to go back to my handy dandy calculator. Sorry, we lost it. Let's go back to our 250 minus 25% of your cut. No, minus clear 250 minus 25% equals 187 minus, let's say 22 grand for construction minus 22,000. My max offer is 165. I could go to this guy right now and offer him 165. So what I'll do is I'll say, okay, what do you want to sell your house? I could give you between 150 and 160, or between 140 and 155, you know? I'll do something like that. And if he's in the same ballpark, then I'll schedule a showing and we'll go down there, we'll see it, and we'll really get to the nuts of it. And either I'll edit my offer a bit or I'll lock it up right away. And then you try to, then that's when the whole process of wholesaling starts, when you start flipping it. Does everyone get the process now, basically, of wholesaling?
Yeah.
So it's cool. And Yisrael was saying yesterday that he sees like a house on the street and it's boarded up. This is awesome. This is a very good lead right now. This is probably a house that has a owner with a pressure point. So you can start Googling that. Now, if they bought it 3 months ago, they're probably an investor and they're probably going to start flipping it soon, or they're middle flipping it, you know, so you can't really, that's not what you're looking for. But if you see that this house is boarded up and it's been the same owner for 25 years, you want to get on that right away. I was jogging on Sherman. I saw this 3-family, beautiful, boarded up. I got the old lady who lives in Florida now on the phone, and she's saying she's not going to sell. She's not going to sell, no way, but it's been boarded forever. And they're paying the property tax. They're doing all this stuff. And she finally gave me her husband's number, and I'm going to go see it, and I'm going to try to get it under contract. Like, a no doesn't mean no. She told me no way we're selling. And then I was like, maybe, you know, I'm a contractor as well. Maybe I could go and just help out with the construction of it. Just let me get in the door. Let me meet you guys, you know? So that's called bird dogging. Like all these things have like a term for it in wholesaling. So like, let's say you could speak to your mailman, you can speak to all these Amazon drivers. Say, if you guys bring me pictures of a house that's boarded up on your routes, you guys are driving all over town. If you bring me a picture, I'll give you my number. You text me a picture of this house. If I buy it, close it, flip it, I'll give you $5,000. I'll give you $10,000. It doesn't hurt them, you know. They're called bird dogs. They're just people who are like driving around, something called driving for dollars, which is like when you get in your car, start driving around looking for boarded houses, because these are going to be the best leads, but it's time consuming. It costs gas and everything. And it's also hard to scale. You know, you could do 3, 4, 5. You get these lists, start calling them, start texting them, start emailing them. You could also do mailing campaigns where you mail their mailing address, just different postcards. And you're going to kill it. And you could buy the deals that you want, and you could flip the deals that you don't want. Anyone have any questions on this process?
Nope.
Nice.
No.
Yeah. Anyways, Clever, this was fun. I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Text me if there's any resources I could share with you. Like I'll send all the docs over so you guys could just have a lease. You know, you should have purchase and sale, at least for Connecticut. I don't know if it works everywhere. I could send you, just different online. The GIS was good. The GIS was the map we went on yesterday. That's for every state, everywhere free.
Script.
What was that? A script?
Define script.
Yeah, I'll send you a script for sure. It's I'm Brent Daniels' phone script.
Your batch lease password.
Your social, your credit card info. Yeah, I enjoyed this, guys. I had a great time.
Scare statues. Awesome.
Yeah, appreciate
You're a
it.
ledge.
Yeah, guys. Take
Yes.
care.
See you guys. Good enough.
Thank you, Lila Tov.
Bye. Bye.
All right. Have a good night.